Okay, everybody keeps asking me to give them a warning before I do these spooky videos. This is that warning. Yeah. So, I was still doing home health care because it was flexible. Yeah, I know y'all gonna talk about me. So, my company sent me and a partner to this condo of this 80-year-old woman who had just gotten out of the hospital. She was in there for a month. She was in perfect health until she wasn't one day. So they sent two of us there because they said it was a lot of things that needed to be done around the house, and they wanted to make sure it got done in a timely manner. So both of us are there. First thing we notice when we walk in is she still has her original like drapery. They said that she bought this condo in the 1970s. She still had the 70s drapes, the 70s couches. And when you go to the master bedroom, she still had the drapery that's like up top. She still had that. And you could tell she ain't dusted. So we're around there like cleaning like crazy. And we decide to sit down, take us a break. So we're sitting in the living room, and we heard a noise. It wasn't distinctive, so we couldn't tell where it was coming from. So we pretty much chalked it up to it could have been one of her four cats, because she had four cats and they were all in the basement. They were always fighting. So yeah. So fast forward to my partner wanted to go on break. She wanted to go on break, so she decided to take a nap on her break. And so while she was taking a nap, I'm still doing notes, but I hear walking. And I heard walking coming from the back from where the rooms are. So of course I'm like, she can't walk. So I stand up, I walk back there, but while I'm walking back there, it's like the air is getting thicker and I feel sick. So I step into the guest room. Now, she's in the guest room because of the hospital bed, and her master bedroom still has the king size bed in there. So the guest room is where they put her. Now, remember, the hospital beds are like kind of high up and you can see right up under it. Why, while I'm looking around the room, I see a body laying flat up under the bed, just laying flat with their head just straight back like this. And so once it realized, and I'm saying it because I still don't know if that was a demon or not till this day, once it realized that I could see it, it looked over towards me and let out this huge laugh, ran past me. I like jumped out the way because I do not want that thing running into me, bumping into me, nothing. Ran past me and ran into the master bedroom. And when I ran in there and looked, it was crawling up under her king bed. Like, what? So after I saw that the thing or it crawled up under her king bed in her master bedroom, I ran out there and I told homegirl, like, hey, we need to pray around this house. Now, I felt more comfortable telling her certain stuff because she believed. And she wasn't a seer, but she definitely didn't mind praying. Okay, so I went to go get her and I grabbed my Bible because remember, I always travel with my Bible, took my Bible out my bag. We went back there to the master room and we started praying. And while we're doing that, it kicked its feet out from underneath the bed, kicking it. Like, I guess joking around. I don't know what it was doing. But when it did that, why my friend, I said, I'm about to disown you because she walks over there talking about something, I'm about to look under it. No, you're not. You ain't finna look under nothing. Let's go to the living room now until it's time to go. So once me and her go back to the living area, she was like, girl, I just, I'm curious. I just wanted to see for myself. No, you don't. You don't want to see nothing for yourself. So she's like, I'm going to go look. Oh, okay. And you going by yourself? You going by yourself. So she goes in there. And I'm guessing that she looked under the bed, raised the bottom up, the drape at the bottom, and raised it up. And I guess they got hold of her hand. She said, like she screamed. I ran back there. She said, something touched my arm. Why would you put your arm? Girl, y'all, she pissed me off. I'm thinking about it now. Anyway, so we go back to the living room. It's 4 a.m. I tell my mama, I call her. Yes, I called my mama at 4 a.m. Told her what I saw and what was going on. And so she told me, she said, you know what to do. So started praying around there. I had the water that my mom blessed. Went around there blessing the house. But the thing got so aggravated. And next thing you know, I look up and it's two of them. And it got so aggravated that it started knocking stuff over. Now, remember, this is a 70s condo. Okay, this woman has been here for years at this point. Years. It's knocking down all her expensive stuff. This woman is loaded. All right. So it's knocking down, it knocked down this vase that she had. it was other stuff like up on this this little shelf. It was knocking over everything. So once the other two people that was coming in to relieve us got there, it made it look like we did it. And still to this day, I think that they think we just went around destroying stuff. So we had to come up with a lie to say that the cats did it, that they were around there jumping around, because we just knew that she wasn't going to believe what was going on. Now, my friend that was with me did not see the things knocking it over. I saw the things knocking it over, but she saw them falling by themselves. But I will never forget when I was leaving, me and her decided that we were going to give that assignment to them other two girls because they wanted to do night shift. So we decided we were going to go somewhere else. But once we decided that we were no longer going to be coming to that woman's house, we ended up leaving, and we were packing some things up. We saw them things just standing there, and they were outside of the home. So I don't know if they were attached to the inside and the outside, but they were able to leave to be outside of the home. So the noise that we heard, maybe that was them coming in.
Stories that makes me realize how many scary experiences first responders probably have. But anyways, this story follows a kid named Mikey. And Mikey is a 10-year-old who grows up, or at least hangs out at the local fire department. Now, Mikey's been hanging out here since possibly before he could even walk. So he's really familiar with all of the firemen who work at this particular fire station. They come to love him, and he comes to love them as well. And he gets really close to one whose name is Dale. Now, Dale and Mikey have the best relationship of anybody in this station. Dale teaches Mikey everything he needs to know, plus more. He lets him do things he's not necessarily supposed to let him do, and he teaches him all about fire safety because Mikey has the goal one day of becoming a fireman himself. So the precinct gets this new fire chief, and the fire chief comes in and he sees that Mikey's here all the time. He's not too keen on it, but Mikey by this point is unofficially the fire station's mascot. All the other firemen love him, they look out for him, they take care of him, and they like having him around. He's really good for their morale. So anyways, there's one particular day where Dale and Mikey are hanging out, and Dale has Mikey on the truck. The fire chief comes out and he's looking at Mikey, then he's looking at Dale, and he looks at Mikey, then at Dale, and says, "Hey, this isn't a jungle gym. The kid's gotta go." So Dale, not wanting to argue, was like, "All right, Mikey, I'll tell you what, I'll see you tomorrow when this asshole's not here, and we'll continue where we left off." So Mikey looks at him, he gives him a wink, and he leaves for the day. So as Mikey's walking home that afternoon, he walks by a house and he's smelling something, and he realizes what he's smelling is smoke. Now as he gets closer to the house, he realizes that there are pillows of smoke billowing out of the window. So Mikey goes into firefighter mode. Mikey goes up to the door, he knocks. There's no response, so he opens the door, or at least he tries to, and luckily the door is unlocked. So he pushes the door open, and there's a fire that erupts right in front of him, and smoke pours out of the front door. So Mikey calls into the house. He asks if anybody's there, and this is when he starts to hear some coughing. So going into firefighter mode, as he's been trained to do, Mikey decides that he's gonna go back to the fire station and alert Dale. So Mikey hightails it back to the fire station, and the first person he runs into when he comes in is Dale, his buddy. So he tells Dale what's going on. He lets him know that there's a giant fire happening in the house down the street, and Dale questions him a little bit, but he believes him. So he alerts the rest of the firemen who are there. He tells his fire chief, and the fire chief is like, "All right, I got you, go handle that." So Dale gets the fire truck, he gets his teammates, and he pulls out of the fire station. And all of a sudden, his buddy, Mikey, pops up in the passenger seat right beside him. Now, we know Mikey's not supposed to be on this damn truck, but desperate times calls for desperate measures. So they get back to the scene, and Dale and the rest of his crew put out this fire. They also bring out the 4 bodies that were in the house when Mikey ran to get Dale. So all of the people who were residents of the home survived, and everything's good. So once things have calmed down, Mikey and Dale step back towards the fire truck, and Mikey is sitting on the front bumper. Dale is telling Mikey how proud he is of him and how he's so happy he implemented everything he's learned, and he's going to make a great firefighter one day. Dale is so proud of Mikey, in fact, that he lets him wear his helmet. So As Dale and Mikey are sitting there talking, Dale is looking like a proud father and Mikey's looking like he just won the World Cup. Dale gets a call to come over because he found one more body and they need to ID it, or at least see if they can ID it. So Dale walks over and there's a stretcher on the ground with a blanket laying over it. You can see that this blanket is covering a body. So Dale approaches the blanket and the stretcher and he leans down and he pulls back the blanket, and who does he see on the stretcher dead? Mikey. Mikey is burnt up, his face is blackened, he looks like he's been through the ringer, and Dale is absolutely devastated. In fact, he's petrified because he just spoke to Mikey not 30 seconds ago. In fact, Mikey still had his hat on, so he's in denial right now, and he's looking at his teammate telling him that Mikey can't be dead even though he's on the stretcher because he's just, he's right over there on the truck. So his teammate looks over at the truck where him and Mikey were. Dale also turns around to look at the truck, and there's no Mikey there. There's only the helmet that Dale gave him to wear. It's sitting right on the bumper where Mikey was previously sitting. So Dale turns back towards the body, and obviously he's broken at this point. Mikey's not moving. Mikey has gone away. So later on, it was discovered that Mikey died of smoke inhalation. Now, what makes the story a bit scarier to me is the fact that Mikey had gone into the house when he heard the coughing. It was said that he did attempt to escort the people out of the house, but there was something that fell and trapped Mikey, and he died as a result of smoke inhalation because he couldn't get out. So this means when Dale saw Mikey at the fire station, Mikey was likely already dead at that point. He couldn't have escaped that fire because he was trapped. He was basically pinned down by the debris that had collapsed on top of him. So there was no way that Mikey could have been there to tell Dale that there was an active fire. Now, if you were to ask Dale what he thought about the situation, he would tell you that it's very likely Mikey's spirit came in that day to help warn him about the fire that was going to likely kill 4 other people. So a lot of people in that fire station believe that Mikey, even through death, fulfilled his goal of being a firefighter and that he became a guardian angel to those 4 people. But this all could be a figment of Dale's imagination, and maybe the trauma and grief of losing his best friend was too much to bear. But I want to know what you guys are thinking. Let me know if you guys think that Mikey was in fact a guardian angel that came to save 4 people despite his own death, or if maybe the event was just traumatic and Dale imagined it all. And if you guys have any scary stories or personal stories that you would like me to share, please let me know, DM me, and I'll be happy to share your stories, and I will see you guys in my next video.
The following story would make me never want to be home alone. I was home alone for a weekend a few years ago while I was still in high school. After school one day, I was driving home, and when I passed in front of my house, I thought I saw some old lady in white clothes in my sister's room looking through the window. I'll be driving past my house. I thought it was stupid, so I went into the room to check out what it actually was, but I couldn't find anything. I pretty much just forgot about it until later that night. I got a call from a very panicked and scared neighbor saying there was some old lady pacing back and forth in my sister's room. Well, neighbor, you might want to scooch over because I'm staying at your house. I still have no idea what it was, and I've never seen anything like it since. Can you imagine the neighbor though, like knowing there's no old lady living there but someone's pacing back and forth? That sounds like The Visit type shit. Have you guys seen that movie? Anyway, what do you guys think? What would you have done? Because I know for a fact I wouldn't have even stopped. Like, yeah, no, I wouldn't have stopped. I wouldn't have gone to my sister's room. Let's just say I did. Neighbor calls me at night telling me somebody's pacing back and forth. Neighbor, yeah, I'm gonna live with you now until my parents come back. What do you guys think?
So I have a spooky story.